coming back to my medieval corner. In this episode, we're going to continue the head-to-toe cleaning of my armor, which will include the rebuild of my leather seatbelt and taking the rust off of my leg armor. This will be a longer episode, so strap in for the chug at the end. But first, over the years, fighters have been doing double duty, gearing up for harsh competitions and doing demonstrations. Ren fairs are a great way to get in some advanced practice. A fighter should know the difference between the dog show and the dog fight. At the shows, nothing is really on the line except for your own pride. We are there for entertainment. Go out, have fun, play patiently, and work on each other's skill. Using this opportunity for kit time, we should be trying new things. Working on team tactics that we've learned at practice, and treat it more as an endurance exercise rather than a full-on fight. Sadly, even in our team, we've lost good fighters to injuries that shouldn't have happened at a show. Safety is the utmost importance. We're already hitting each other with weapons and throwing each other to the ground. The crowd will love the spectacle regardless of what level we're going. So when your team is doing a demo or a Ren fair, use it as a chance to level up. Save the raw intensity for the tournaments. Here we go with part 2 of my belt rebuild. As you can see, the saddle soap really brought the leather back to life. I've remade the buckles and straps, and I even wound up cleaning the plates for the small of the back. So let's put this all back together. We'll start with the plates. Just slap them on and put in the double cap rivets. I use a doming post to correctly mash the rivets. It also gives them a studded look. You can flat smash them with a hammer and anvil, but they won't hold on for as long. I added a few extra rivet spots on the buckles and straps for a more solid hold. The straps on my hips support my leg armor, and I want them to be sturdy. So I reinforced the belts with added rivets. It's a night and day difference now. After wearing it with my armor, I'm happy to say that the added structure worked well. Something else you can do is either re-dye all the pieces if you want, or you can condition the leather using conditioner that's made for leather shoes. This will help waterproof the belt so you don't have to clean it as often. I hope this helped, and you can use these methods for most leather projects. I seem to be talking a lot about rivets in this episode, but I suppose that's a good thing. My cuisses are pretty beat up, and we're going to use the same steps as we used in part 1 on my greaves. WD-40 and a lot of wire brushing. Then coating with oil, but with one added step. Let's go through and tighten up all these rivets for a tighter fit. See how they're just rattling around, and over time and use, the rivets can become loose. As you can see, I've made a couple spots on my anvil for the rivet domes. It'll hold it in place while I hammer and will keep the rivet shape. I've also replaced the leather hinge holding the side plates. Now for the derusting. And I have to give a big shout out to my friend and team smith, Brandon, the nuclear blacksmith. My favorite Wastelander showed me that a nylon brush works great to take off the lighter rust. But if I have to use a metal brush, the nylon brush helps polish it up. Again, it's pretty straightforward. But this is to show how much work goes into maintaining and repairing armor. Add this on top of training, fighting, and this hobby can quickly take up your schedule. After the work is done, it's again a night and day difference, and these legs are ready to hit the field. Thanks for joining me today. I have a great episode coming up next for you. I've made my return to the melee field, and I will be traveling to Montana for the Battle for the Peak at Lolo Peak Brewery, where I'll be fighting with fighters from 3 different states. I plan to log my travels and experience and bring them to you. So stay tuned. Today's Horn Chug is Coors Banquet. If you like learning more about this crazy sport, be sure to like and subscribe. This is a journey, medieval combat, that we can all share. Skål.
This is slightly different from our traditional sword and buckler duel, where we may go just to 5 points. However, we really want them to get this one out of their system. The louder you cheer, the harder they fight. As cheesy as that sounds, they legitimately cannot hear you inside those helmets.
Go, Jerry!
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the round is over. Fighters, please take to the center.